Yeah.
All right. Hey, listener people, this is episode 10. We're in double digits. Can you believe this?
For a month, this is not bad at all. Like we've been committed to bringing this content regularly to people, and they're, from the feedback I've been getting, enjoying glimpses into.
I think that's good. I mean, really, like we planned on doing one episode a week in like normal times when people had like no time, and now we all have a lot of time, and we're like, okay, we can handle 2 a week, and so far people seem entertained.
Yes.
So cheers.
And cheers, we've made it to 10.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so you guys, Michelle and I made an executive decision that we should drink and talk about stuff every 10 episodes, because this is the 10th episode. We wanted to celebrate. Quite frankly, we need some wine, and I think that's what we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I want to know what you're drinking though, and where you got it.
You want to know what I'm drinking? I am drinking a beautiful wine called Fresh as a Daisy.
Oh, I can't see your label though, and I feel
like we'll put a picture out.
Okay, because it's really pretty.
It's called Fresh as a Daisy. It's an Australian Sauvignon Blanc, and it is fabulous. It is perfect for spring, perfect going into May, and I got it at Gardina's Wine Bar downtown in Oshkosh. It's their special of the week this week.
Okay, I thought they were a restaurant. I don't feel like I knew that you could buy wine there.
You can. So they started out as McKnight and Carlson years ago, wine shop. And so McKnight and Carlson moved their wine shop into Gardina's when they opened the restaurant. And so as the restaurant was opening, they had the wine shop in a different location. Eventually it became in the back of the shop. But the cool thing is that as they were opening and getting a presence for the restaurant, I got to be part of like a tasting club that they were doing. So once a week, they would do tastings of different wines by either distributors or people that worked there with really great knowledge.
Wow.
So I got to hear some really cool wine seminars. And then as the food for the restaurant was being ready, we got to do a lot of taste tests of it.
That's so fun.
How fun was that? So that was like Tuesday night date night.
I feel like you might be better at wine than me. I don't feel like I knew this.
Yeah, so in the back, so if you park on Main Street and walk in the front door, you may miss the fact that the back of the restaurant has the wine bar or the wine shop. And so I always park in the back and go in that way. And then I, get all their emails and stuff. And so they had said, like, here's our deals of the week. And I'm like, oh, well, I need to try something that's called Fresh as a Daisy.
Yeah,
and then I saw the label. It was beautiful. $8.99 for a bottle of wine. Like that's not that. I mean, it's such a great deal.
Right. I mean, I feel like we had cocktails that cost more than that.
Right.
Cocktail.
Right. So I think I'm going to be going back this week and buying a couple more bottles because I say treat yourself.
Yeah, I think I'm good with that.
Yeah, I think I told Adam today because he asked me how things were going. I said, I'm buying some wine. Quarantine.
I totally feel you. So I'm drinking wine from Mondo.
Wine good, yeah.
And they're so cute. They took their logo right now and they crossed out wine bar, so it just says Mondo retail. Like,
oh, but I love Mondo.
No, I love them so much, and they're doing all right now. They actually have a lot of people like doing some pickup, but I don't think that it can hurt to support businesses that you love and want to make this through this like more. In fact, like the other day I just sent them a note and I was like, I need a case of wine, and they like know me, I'm there a lot, so I was like, just pick out things that I like, and they sent me this, and this is actually one of my favorite wines, and look at the label. Like I'm a sucker for a label, and it's a Monastrell, so it's red.
Yeah, you're a red drinker though. I am. But if I was doing that tonight, I'd be falling asleep during this. So
my goal is, if I'm not sleeping very well, so I'm not upset about the red wine. However, I feel like, so they do a lot of like, they do a wine club, they do wine tastings, they do like just all these different ways you can learn about wine. And I go to all of them, Michelle, and I'm still like, I don't know what the varietal is in this. I just know that it's red, it's delicious, and it's under $12 a bottle. I'm pretty sure this one is like $9.99 or maybe like $10 or $11.99.
Which is great.
Like, it's not a big deal. Their price point is amazing. David has a great palate for wine. He's the proprietor. He and his wife Jane run the place, and they're both incredible people. She's an amazing artist, also good at wine.
Yeah.
David knows all the things, and he makes great selections, and everything's a good price point. Like, most of their bottles are under $20, and it's awesome.
I think that's great. I think anytime that places can have something in those sweet price points, I think it's perfect. I know for me personally, the things that I drink that I drink most fall between that $8 to like $15 range.
Right. I know Dave always says you don't need to spend a lot of money to have a great bottle of wine. Now, that being said, we've done some higher end tastings there. Yep. And there are a couple bottles that like I'm in love with that are spendier. And like we always open it like on a Tuesday because why not?
Right.
But at the same time, like their everyday drinking wines are all amazing and they're super good. Can you go into Gardenia's any day? Because you went today.
I did. They're open right now 3 to 8, Tuesday through Friday, and then Saturdays.
Okay.
12 to 8 or 11 to 8 or something like that. But they did reduce their hours a little bit, but you can go in and shop. That's the difference between Mondo and Gardenia's.
Yeah, Mondo's is putting their stuff out online, so like you can see their stuff and you can order it, and then they're doing pickups on Fridays and Saturdays that you can go in. I want to say it's like 12 to 5, I think.
Yeah, I love it.
They have everything ready, and they're doing pizzas. Their pizzas are really good.
They are. Their pizzas are really good. That might have to be a treat this weekend. We'll have to see.
No, I'm having a hard time not buying all the things from the places I love, but like wine is a necessity.
It is.
And I wish, now that we're on video, I probably should have drank white because I'm going to have red wine teeth. Oh, it'll be fine.
Everyone at home has it too. It happens to everyone at home too. So I mean, it is what it is.
Well, if we forget to ask you guys later, the thing we want to know is what are you drinking today and what do you recommend and what are the things that we need to try? Because that'll be important. But
I have developed a quarantine cocktail when I don't feel like drinking wine.
Oh, what are you drinking?
So I've been drinking cranberry bubbly.
Okay.
With vodka and a lime.
Okay, that sounds actually great.
Right, it's so refreshing.
Huh, I love it.
Yeah.
Bill made me. He's been doing like a lot of old fashions, and we are big fans of Gary's old fashioned mix. So maybe on episode 20 we'll do Gary's or something. We got a kitten. This is awkward. He like wants to come up here right now. It's not weird to do a podcast with a cat in your lap, is it? Like Dr. Evil style. All right, you either need to stay or go, dude. It can't be weird. All right, Michelle, so how have you been doing? Because I feel like I asked this and then you started like talking and I was like, we have to record. Like people need to
hear this. I'm over today. I'm just kind of over it. I think what I told you was I'm over having to do all the menu planning.
Yep.
And then figure out where I'm going to get takeout from because sometimes I don't know and I want someone else to make a decision for me, but there isn't anyone here to do that. Right. I think my brain is just at the point where it's on overdrive. I feel like I have this big sense to be productive every day, do something productive, be productive. And I think it's finally catching up to me to say like, I don't have to do anything. Getting up is being productive. So today I took a nap outside and kind of felt like I was having a spa moment because I put on music like you'd hear at the spa and just closed my eyes. And it was just the most relaxing 90 minutes until someone decided to fire up a chainsaw.
Awesome. Right. That was a really good plan. I also very much feel like I'm over it, and we probably are in the opposite spaces of over it. Like, I didn't realize how much I have loved and appreciated having quiet and solitude. I am one of 4 kids, and I grew up in a house with 6 people in like maybe 900 square feet. I was never alone growing up ever, maybe twice in my entire life. And then in the last couple of years since I've been working at home, like I love working at home when I'm by myself.
Right.
Everyone's here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And today is day 46 for us.
Yeah, I know. It's 42 long.
Yeah, it's bad. So like, I just feel like I'm in this space where like, I'm sick of having like company all the time. Yeah. And I'm also sick of making decisions because like my husband's great. Like Bill's wonderful. He's good at meal planning and he cooks. So I can't complain about that. But like, you know, the kids constantly have homework. I'm sick of homeschooling. I'm over all of that. And it's not like I want to like go back to normal so fast because like I don't want to like disrespect my health worker, care worker friends.
Right. I don't either.
I'm downplaying the seriousness of this disease, but like Mama wants to see other people in person.
I want to see other people. I think for me, that's the hardest part is I want to see other people too. I want to know that there are places that I can go. We are in different circumstances because there's nothing about like I'm not and I'm not an introvert. So I haven't been training for this all of my life. My introvert friends are having the time of their lives. I know some of them are ready to people again too, but I'm an extrovert. Like if you look up extrovert in the dictionary, my picture might be there along with like thousands of other people. And so for me, like not having access to people, I am just like starving for like human interaction and just like like to do this, I would love to do this in person. There's just something about like doing things in person with people that I am just like missing terribly right now.
Right.
I'm missing, I think I'm just lonely because for people who live alone, isolation, you know, social distancing is slash isolation, which is slash like not good for like I don't think people are designed to be home this long alone.
Yeah.
And there's just days that I'm like, where can I take a car ride just to change the environment just so I can see that there's a world going on.
No, I think that's totally fair. And I think your comment about being lonely is legit. And I feel weird saying that I'm lonely because people are around, but like I'm lonely for other people. Like I'm actually fine with Bill. I will spend every moment of my life with that man. And I almost feel guilty because I think I was like, my goal is to spend like as much time as humanly possible with you. I did not mean in like an apocalyptic situation where we're all in quarantine.
Right.
I meant like, I want to retire early and hang out with him.
Right. And do things with friends and then do things with him again. And
And I feel guilty like being like ready to be done with my kids for just a second. Like we tried really hard to get them. It was not an easy process. And like, but it's also not easy to have a 12-year-old and an 8.5-year-old around you all the time. Like
they're starving and they're starving for their people too. They just don't know how to say it.
They are. So I mean, like we're helping them. Like they're learning about like FaceTiming with their friends and like Facebook Kids Messenger has been a godsend. I didn't even like Aaliyah called you the other day and had a whole video chat and I didn't even know.
Oh yeah. She wanted to know how I made my bread.
I mean, who doesn't want to know how you made your bread? Thank God we did that in the last podcast. But like, she was like in her gratitudes at dinner that night. She's like, we do gratitudes every night. So I don't think we've talked about this, but like every night, everybody at our house does 3 gratitudes. And if you're a guest at our house, you're expected to do gratitudes. So like somebody goes first, they call on somebody else till everyone goes, and we all share what we're grateful for. And one of her gratitudes was, I got to talk to Michelle today and she told me about how to make her bread. And she also said she's going to come help me make it when quarantine's over. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you talked to Michelle today? She was like, yes. And you know that like my children idolize you. They think that you're like amazing and you are, but like, it's so cute. They're like, oh, can I see Michelle? It's pretty cute.
Yeah, no, I did. I mean, generally, and then Ian got in the show too, and he had to, you know, figure out, well, no, can you show me? You show my sister. Can you show me? So I had 2 napkins and I was showing them how
I love it. I missed all of this. I don't know what I was doing. I think I had a call. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It doesn't matter. I just think it was hysterical. And now she sends me random like pictures.
I'm sure they're amazing because they're making all those things on Facebook Messenger. There's all kinds of things that it can do. Like you can't send a gift because heaven forbid, like you choose something that's inappropriate.
Right.
But they can send you all kinds of weirdo things.
And then she's like, well, can't you do that back to me? I'm like, no, I can't. I can't figure it out. And even if
I just learned this, that you can use filters and send photos back. So I sent them a couple pictures and I get like little messages from them, which is fine because like usually Aaliyah will send me a message when she's right here.
Right.
And I'm like, thank you. I can see you typing. Like it's kind of not part of the deal. But what do?
You don't. And I think it's teaching people how to communicate differently, which is great. But at the same time, like, I would really like to just go back to the old fashioned way of like talking to someone in person.
I know. I think that's what I'm most over. Cause you were like, I'm over making this. I'm over grace. Everyone's like, give you grace. Like I'm sick of it. And I'm in this space where like, I'm struggling with some health issues. There's all these other things. And everyone's like, just focus on what you need. And we talked about this whole thing. I shared this, like someone wrote this thing on Facebook that was so good. I got to look up that girl's name. We'll share it on the Good Girl, our page.
We will.
It was like the Maslow's pyramid hierarchy of needs.
Yep.
And I didn't know that you were like a total pro at this.
I am. Yeah. Oh yeah. I had to memorize that in
Okay,
grad
so the
school.
top of the pyramid, what is that, like self-actualization or all the like learning and the personal growth? That's what it is.
Yeah.
She's like, we're
Yeah.
not here. So
No,
stop
we're not.
thinking that you're not here. We're at the bottom where we're like
Right.
food, shelter, warmth, and
Exactly.
like basic security.
Yep. Until you feel that, until you have those things taken care of, you are never going to get further up in that pyramid. And
Well,
so that's important. So when I was in grad school, studying to, help students transition into college, I mean, you always have to make sure that college students in their freshman year, like those things feel like they're taken care of first so that they can feel like they're adjusting to the campus that they're on in the new place so that they can
yeah,
do well in classes and everything else. So it's just like now, and like we want to make sure that all of our basic needs and our children's and our families. And so that's the struggle right now, is that so many parents have to make sure that every day their kids' education needs are taken care of.
yeah.
And then like your own needs, and people are just running out of time to just like find 5 minutes to go to the bathroom by themselves or catch their breath or like not think. For me, like not think. I am struggling with turning my mind off right now.
Right.
Just because, and I meditate and I do all the things. It's just, I think today is just a day that I'm not liking.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I'll be able to flip the page and that tomorrow is a new day and I don't have to look back on today. I think the highlight of my day is going to be this fabulous wine that I've discovered.
I think that's a fair situation. I don't know. Like the other thing I guess that's bothering me is that like and this might just be me. There's so many people who are like, make sure that when we go back to normal, like you're just taking the things that you love and you're like whatever. And if you're not using this time to better yourself or learn a new skill or join a new company or blah, blah, blah. And like, I'm really sick of it. Like, honestly, I already am very self-aware. I've already designed the life I love and it's the one I had before quarantine. And I don't want to make any changes. I want to go back to living exactly how I was.
And PS, we're not going to be able to go back. There's only going to be
Thank
before
you.
quarantine and after quarantine. And I think maybe that's just because I lost a person that was very close to me. And so I know that like we're going to have everyone in the universe now is going to have option B or plan B or whatever that book that came out a few years ago was, like plan B. Like there is going to be like plan A is what we were living.
Yeah.
And that we cannot go back to it. It doesn't exist anymore. There is no magic light switch that's going to flip on the 27th of May in Wisconsin that says, oh, we're back to normal, because there is going to be no normal that we're going back to.
Right.
It is only going to be from this point forward. So it's going to be before COVID and after COVID. And after COVID is going to be a lot of phases. And I don't think we're going to be back to feeling 100% about anything for a good while. We're going to be wearing masks. We're going to be doing all kinds of stuff.
No,
because I get it.
It's sad. I had a really good friend text me today. There was supposed to be a show coming to Appleton, Dear Evan Hansen.
Yes.
And I was so excited to go. It's part of the reason we bought our season tickets this year. Like I'm really
Everyone's been looking forward to Dear Evan Hansen.
It's in June, Michelle. The chances are like negative 200% that they're going to have it. Like it's just not going to happen. And she's like, I've had a countdown on my phone for 6 months because I want to do this. And I was like, I really feel you. Like this sucks, but like it's just not going to happen. Like
we're all going to have those moments of disappointment now going forward, where all the things that were planned for the rest of the year are just one by one going to feel like they're not going to happen.
You know, so what I keep thinking on like, you know, days when I'm better than I am today,
right?
I'm thinking like, okay, we've got to find things that we can do, that we can look forward to, that are achievable and actually possible to happen. So what can we do differently? How can we do this differently?
Right.
And I'm struggling a little bit because there's not a lot. Like we camp, glamp. Like I just actually sent a message to a bunch of like my friends, and they're all the ladies I work out with. And I was like, you guys, I had this whole plan for my birthday. I can't do it, but I think campgrounds are gonna be open. Maybe we should go camping. Maybe. And then like one of the girls is like, I only go primitive camping. And I was like, I like my bathroom and my memory foam mattress in my camper. So like, I love you and I miss you, but I'm not primitive camping.
Nothing about primitive camping sounds like it would be appealing to me.
Nothing.
At all.
And she is like an amazing person. I freaking love her. But I was like, girl, Like, I want my coffee creamer in the morning, and I want to be able to have my coffee maker. I do not want to make a fire and have to do all of that over that whole deal. Like,
I don't, I want to have a restroom available to me.
it's really important to me. Yeah.
Right.
Well, and like all the campgrounds that are opening right now, like that's a thing that's happening in Wisconsin. Like they are opening campgrounds. They're not opening state parks all of a sudden. They changed their mind on that, but they're opening campgrounds. But you have to have a self-contained unit because they're not opening like the bathrooms and other things that are normally open because that's not okay. But like we have our own bathroom in the thing. So I'm like, well, that could be a thing that we could look forward to. That's realistic.
That's realistic.
That could happen. But at the same time, like I'm only really glamping because my kids are at the phase where they want to go camping. And so I tolerate this because I really like hotels.
Yeah, I like hotels too.
Yeah, and this is the thing that you do. This cat is killing me. Like, sure, you want to?
I have a funny story. So when I was considering moving to Oshkosh, there was a job that was available that friends were trying to get me to apply for, and I said no because it was called like the recreation and like something else director, and you were supposed to like plan like camping trips and outdoor stuff at UW Oshkosh. And I'm like, no, because to me like camping would be what hotel are we staying at? I like nothing about me, like friends, nothing about me says this job is meant for me, but a different friend of a friend applied for it, got that job. So then her job became open. And that's the story of how Michelle got to Oshkosh.
Oh, well, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay, were you ever a Girl Scout or anything? Did you do any of that?
I did all of the things. I loved being a Girl Scout.
Oh.
I loved camping. We did like the camping and platform tents and all that kind of stuff. I went to Girl Scout camp. I loved every minute of it.
All right.
And then somehow through life, I like in college, grad school, I didn't do camping anymore. I think because I met someone, or like all the people that I met, like the guys that I dated in college were not much campers. And then the guy that I met and then married was not a camper. So I'm like, okay, don't have to worry about that part of my life. Thank goodness.
I didn't grow up. So I grew up on a farm in upstate New York.
Yeah.
I didn't camp.
I was a city girl.
Do that. Like we had a tent that sometimes we slept in the yard in. I think it was one of the things of like get the heck out of the house and go.
Oh, we would do that at friends' houses, but my parents like did not allow us for some reason to sleep in tents in our own backyard.
I lived in the country. It was not a big deal, but I grew up on a farm and we didn't go camping. Like it wasn't a thing. And I didn't really know about this until I met my friend Crystal. They camp and we do a great, like we camp with them. That's a totally different situation. It's full on glamping. They have an outdoor bar in their camper. Like I'm down with that kind of stuff. Like that works for me. But I did Girl Scouts and we did the platform tent thing. We made, I remember one time they had us do eggs in a paper bag over the fire.
Yep.
And you put bacon on the bottom and then the eggs on the top, and it was supposed to cook, like the bacon grease was supposed to prevent it from burning. Did not. We went up in flames. We had no breakfast. It was terrible. Like we got, I don't know, it didn't work out well. We went camping one time. And then I remember instead of like we took our cookie money, and the next year we went to the Embassy Suites, and it was like Camp or Troop Beverly Hills. Remember that movie from the 80s?
I do. Yep.
That was my Girl Scout experience. We went to Embassy Suites. There were 2 rooms. My friends' moms, who were our counselor or group leaders, they had their own damn room. They watched their own movies. We stayed in another. They ordered pizza. We swam in the pool. I was like, Girl Scouts rocks. Like that was not part of my life growing up. Like never stayed in a hotel, never did any of those things. Right. So it was not like true Girl Scout experiences.
Yeah.
I still like a hotel better.
I do too.
It's fine.
There's something about I don't know. There's just something about a regular shower that I appreciate.
Right.
I mean, I'm willing to camp for a weekend. My thing is though, is that if it's too hot, I do not necessarily enjoy camping unless there is like water close by that you can like cool off in.
Yeah, I feel like
river or something.
We rarely get too many too hot days. Yeah, but I mean, it's possible. I mean, we've camped a couple of times. So we go with a bunch of different people. Usually it's different families, but there's a core group of us that are almost always the same. And I think we went someplace for Halloween camping in like, it might have been September, so it shouldn't have been that warm. And it was like 95, Michelle.
I would not like that.
Well, and we planned a soup bar for dinner. Everyone made soup, and then we all were like So Crystal, of course, made gazpacho because she's a good planner. So that was cold at least. But everything else, I was like, oh, I can't wait to get back and eat my chili when it's 95.
Right.
Not
See,
a
I
good.
like it when it could be like temperatures like this. This is nice because then you can get all cozy in camp. Like
I mean,
I would like that around a fire. But when you're building a fire and it's 95 degrees, I'm like, no, I'm out.
the only reason you're doing it at that point is to control bugs if they're in your space.
Yeah,
Right
again,
now,
I'm out.
it's 47 outside, I think, is what
Yeah,
my watch says.
yeah.
What does it feel like? I don't know if it's going to tell me this. Either way, like that might be okay, but I'm fair weather everything. I like it to be comfortable. I like it to be warm. I don't actually even like to go outside unless it's like at least 65 or 70. That makes me really lame, I know, but I don't care. I want it to be hot. The only reason I live in Wisconsin is because I love Bill Myers and he's here. That's it.
Love you. There's been a
Oh.
dude that walks by my house for like the past month. So it's been getting warmer, but staying in the 40s. No sleeves, sometimes just a vest
What?
and shorts.
Sir. What? Oh my
He
God.
is living his best life.
Okay, tell me, you probably had a guy in high school at least or college that like only wore shorts. Do you, yeah, do you remember his name?
Off the top of my head, no.
Oh, I had two. My friends, and they were my friends. Eric Rothgary, famous for never wearing, he wore shorts year round. And Syracuse, New York is like the snowiest city in the country. Eric he did not care. He wore shorts every day. And Matt Matson, shorts almost all the time. But in the 90s, when I was growing up, he also sometimes wore Jinko jeans because remember those were cool?
Yeah, they were.
Oh my God.
For a moment. Oh my gosh.
I'm waiting because my kids at some point in the next couple of years will probably start dating other humans. And I'm a little concerned because like as a kid in the 90s, like I remember I idolized the Delia catalog. I wanted everything
Oh yeah. My
Delia's.
sisters did too.
All
Yeah.
my friends wore Jinko jeans. Those are terrible. And like that's what my friends wore. So like really, what the heck? What are my
I was
kids people gonna wear?
bib overalls. I saw they were making a comeback.
I just saw that the other day.
Yes, I saw a dude rollerblading and wearing bib overalls while I was listening to 90s music walking and like through UWO campus. I'm like, oh my God, like the decades are like colliding on us.
Have a fanny pack on and or maybe a flannel tied around his waist.
Neither, but flannel tied around the waist, and that would have been, I mean,
But also he was rollerblading, and that's a thing.
rollerblading. I know it's coming back. Everything from the 90s is kind of making a comeback. Baby doll dresses are coming back. The necklaces that were crocheted and those are coming back. I mean, it's all coming back. Lace.
We should probably do a different episode on the things that should and should not come back.
I knew a person in my life and I
Yeah.
appreciate her tremendously. She was a great mentor to me. She said that if you lived through a trend, you do not need to do it again.
I think that's fair. So, I mean, I've been like very anti fanny pack for a long time. A good friend of mine does research for some really big companies, and she told me that fanny packs are coming back in a big way and they're not going to go away. And I was like, BS, friend, I'm never doing this. And she goes, nope, I would put money down that sometime in the next 2 years, you're going to own a fanny pack. And I was like, I can't believe you're saying that blasphemy. It's like telling me I'm going to go buy Crocs and wear them for fashion. No, it's not going to happen.
Can I tell you two things?
Do you own a fanny pack?
When I worked as an event planner, I did have Crocs because on rainy days when you're outside, you're not wrecking good shoes, you're going to wreck your Crocs.
My camping buddies wear Crocs for the same purpose. Like it's easy in a campground.
I had an apron that I got made so that on event days I could have if I didn't have a dress with pockets, I could have pockets available. And I might have uttered under my breath, damn it, I wish that fanny packs were in fashion right now.
Oh my gosh. But I kind of love that you made it an apron.
It's an apron and it's not a fanny pack because it definitely looks like an apron, but I could at least wear it and put all the junk because I mean, by the time you're walking around with keys to the whole kingdom and a walkie-talkie and everything else, you just don't have enough room for, where's it all go?
There's a very small part of my like soul that might exist in the 1950s where I love aprons. I think they're so cute. I like have one that my grandma made me a million years ago and I wear it when I cook with the kids. Actually, it was his and hers aprons. So I wear like the old school, like large collar thing that she made me, because it was straight up a 50s, like,
Yeah.
and then the one that's meant for Bill, I have to like tie it up in a knot so it fits the kids. But then like one kid will wear it, and we have like little matchy aprons, and we cook things.
That's awesome. I have 2 of my grandma's aprons that
I want
I'm
like really
wearing.
cool, really fancy, fun aprons though.
Yeah. Etsy.
Oh,
Etsy.
idea.
Mm-hmm.
We should check this out.
You should check
All
it
right,
out.
I think that we should probably close this because I don't know how long we talked. Sorry for the peeps, because we're trying to keep these short. But like, if you're gonna drink and talk about things, sometimes it's gonna go long.
Well, and sometimes it's just you got to get the things that are in you off of your chest and out of your head.
Yeah, I don't know if this was valuable. It might have been rambly. I don't even care.
We're drinking great wine, and we've given out shout outs to some of our great local businesses. So we're going to support local.
Yeah, I like that.
And I think that the other thing is that I know that we're not alone in how we're feeling. And I know that people are appreciating the fact that we're talking about what everyone else is feeling.
Okay, so then I feel like we're going to ask one more thing. So tell us what you're drinking and what we need to try. Like if you've got a great wine or a beverage or something, like if you also love Mondo or Gardenias, shout them out. If you also are a big fan of Gary's Old Fashioned Mix, and I like freaking love them, that would be great. And if there's something else that we need to know about, that would be critical. And then let us know what you're sick of. Like tell us what you're really over in this whole quarantine process. And maybe I shouldn't be so negative. I mean, because like we could do a different one. I mean, there are moments where I actually really like everything that's happening. Like I like being home with my little family, and like when everyone's getting along and Pickles isn't biting anybody and everything's awesome, it's good. But then like, most of the time I just want to be able to leave when I want.
Yeah.
And I feel guilty for like enjoying it because like people like you are like lonely, or I have friends that are out of work. Like, well, you're out of work also. Sorry, this is terrible. And this is really awkward now.
It's totally fine. It's all good.
Right. All right. Let us know your things, peeps. Have a good night.
You too. Thanks. Good night.
On a normal occasion, we might have to say drive safe, but no one's going anywhere.